We're talking to Dr. William Hardy from Tennessee State University. And of course, Dr. Hardy, let's give you an opportunity now to sort of introduce the program that has won applause all over the nation in reference to what you're talking about and how you think that this system can be revised and some of the motives and some of the opposition perhaps to this kind of revision.
I think we might want to start, Dr. Haney, with the fact that the city of Oakland, California was probably a beginning point of when we want to look at this. 1993, 1994, 1995, the school board in Oakland, California became controlled 100% by African Americans. And once that happened, that meant then that they could then design the types of programs that they felt would move their young people from speaking home-based language to standard English. And the program that we all know in America became Ebonics. But it was highly misunderstood. Now, those of us who were in the 1960s and the 70s civil rights movement knew that once we had removed the obvious barriers of segregation and the problems of hate and ignorance, once those barriers were moved, we knew that it would be another phase that would be quite complicated. Ebonics was one of those examples. It was complicated. What we were really saying in the early 1990s in the Oakland Unified School District was that a number of African American kids still have a home-based language. And when they get to the elementary school, from K through 12, when they get there, they are not they do not have the same language, or they don't have the same number of words in their vocabulary as their white counterparts. And in fact, the statistics have shown from the Department of Education that a white child entering the public school system has over 6 to 7 to 8 to 10,000 words in his vocabulary, while the black child only has 2 to 3,000 words in his or her vocabulary.
And of course, we've always talked about Head Start. That's the purpose, Head
Start was a good example, and other people have talked about these types of initiatives to try and get at the basic program, which is good. We needed to do that. But because of politics in this in America, and because of the resistance to looking at a colorblind society, we've had so much resistance. So whenever one administration in Washington comes in and 4 to 8 years will go by, that initiative will then be dismantled and a new one will be introduced. And now at present, we have the No Child Left Behind program. It's a horrible program. It has not then really, our children are still being left behind in inner cities. So why not we look then at the church, the black church particularly, going back to the days when the black church actually had created schools. You remember during the days of, at the end of slavery, from 1865 all the way to 1897, before the Plessy versus Ferguson case, individuals controlled black schools.
Especially your denomination and several others.
Certainly, yes. The African Methodist Episcopal Church was certainly one of those, and the school that I attended. I attended Central State, but Central State was the combined normal and industrial school of Wilberforce University, the first African American controlled university in the history of the United States, 1856. Later on we said there was also Fisk. That was the second school. And so, and there were a number of them. Well, the individuals who graduated from those institutions are the individuals who led the civil rights movements in the 1960s.
That's right.
So those were the individuals who actually had received a superior education. We could compete with white America toe to toe. Then those programs were dismantled because of the theory of integration. Now, integration wasn't bad, but there was so much white resistance to integration, we never saw the real thing. If we did, Why don't we have parity today? Why is it that you and I see students at Tennessee State University that not always are there, and that's why some of them will have to then look at remedial programs. Now, thank God it's not a whole number. It's not, the numbers are getting smaller now.
Important, yeah.
Yes, because
recognize that.
Yes, it is important. They are not now remedial, as a lot of people in this community and others will say, black schools are remedial. That's not so. We are looking at an outstanding number of young people who are coming to Tennessee State University and now are going on to a number of graduate schools and professional schools. Of course they have. But the resistance in the middle school and the elementary schools and the high schools in America are still now beginning to change again into